Greetings from California.
Greetings from California.
Right? We just in two different cities, but yeah, same time zone.
Finally.
Right? So yeah, I'm here in LA for DragCon. I'll be out here for the weekend. So if any of y'all are going to DragCon and you see my tall ass, say hi. And then on Sunday, we will actually have a booth. I'll be with Maddie Rance. We're doing the panel in a booth, and I think we're going to be there 10:30 to 12:30. So make sure you come by and tell us hi. I'll give more information on my Instagram. So let's get started with these topics. So speaking of hot topics, Wendy Williams. At least she's like coherent. She can make complete thoughts and sentences.
Barely.
First, it started out with her being interviewed by Fat Joe on Instagram Live. And she had a lot to say about Sherri Shepherd.
She really had a lot to say about everything, and some of it didn't seem rooted in reality. She said she's coming back to the Wendy Williams show. Your show has been canceled. You haven't been the Wendy Williams show in 2 years.
Now that you said that, rooted in reality with Wendy Williams. That's the podcast right there. But yes, this is what she had to say. The thing is, why is she mad at Sherri Shepherd, another Black woman that's gonna be on morning daytime? You couldn't get your shit together at the end of the day. And if it wasn't Sherri Shepherd, it would have been somebody else. It would have been Leah Remini. She wanted it.
She needs to be mad at her dealer.
She said, I like her, but I won't be watching her because I know what she's going to be doing, and that's really not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. And then Sherri heard what she said, and she said, well, she's not well. So it's just a lot going on in Wendy's life. This is when you need your friends, you need your family, you need people who love you.
Did Sherri lie? Wendy's not well. It's sad, but true.
She said, so all I can do over here is pray for Wendy.
Not and I'ma pray for you. Not and I'ma pray for you. That's as good as well, bless her heart.
Right. And then Wendy said that she's actually going to be having a show coming this fall. And I think someone came out and was like, not so fast. Did you read that? I think you told me about it.
Yes. She is uninsurable and there are no available time slots. Jennifer Hudson's going to be doing her talk show, and the truth is that ruins the time slot after because everybody's ears will still be ringing. Sherri's going to have Wendy's time slot. So when are you going to be on? At noon when everybody's taking a lunch break? Now, she's also been rumored to be demanding a $100 million podcast deal since Wells Fargo is holding on to all but 2 of her dollars, according to the Fat Joe interview. I'm sorry, Wendy, but since you are uninsurable, I don't see a $100 million deal coming your way. I could see a smooth, easy 10. I could see an easy 10. You have that kind of power. But 100 million, you'd have to be able to show up for work continuously and consecutively. And that's not something you've been able to do.
I think the key word you said is uninsurable. Like, what happens if she, slips on a banana peel or she's enticed by cocaine or crack, so.
And she said she's cooked it before. She said, I'm not much of a cook, but she has cooked crack. Those words came out of her lips on her show. She said it on her show. So I'm just repeating what she said. So when you have the ingredients in your house, when you're like, I can throw together some crack real quick, it could be an issue.
And according to page 6, this is what the source said when they heard.
Oh. I always have wings in the house. I could always say, I could throw some lemon pepper in, if you want some. I always have that, and usually a frozen pizza. Like, she has, crack ingredients in her house. Like, we have food.
So this is what the source said, according to page 6, when they heard Wendy Williams say she's coming back to her talk show this fall. For starters, TV pros point out the production company DeBar Mercury signed a deal with The View, Sherri Shepherd, to take over Wendy Williams' time slot. Where is she going to go? It's done. Logistically, it won't work. Sherri has her time slots. They said they were mad at Fat Joe for giving her the interview because he didn't give Delmar Mercury a heads up, because Fat Joe and Remy Ma were like hosting at some point. Did you see them host? Because I didn't.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't either.
They were very annoyed by that. They said that the elephant in the room is that Wendy is uninsurable. She has not been able to consistently work. She did not have the mental and physical capacity to host her show. They wanted her back more than anybody. They would have loved for her to finish this chapter. But yeah, so far, we don't know where Wendy Williams is going.
I don't know if it's going to be on TV. I think she could do a monthly podcast, but even then, she still doesn't seem to be connecting all the dots if she thinks she's coming back to a show that no longer exists.
Not a monthly podcast. I would say week. She can handle weekly, like one show a week. I think she can handle.
She thinks she's coming back to her TV show. That to me says monthly. That to me says it's not rooted in reality with Wendy. It's misfiring synapses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see why Wells Fargo is holding on to her coin. Sad.
Right. And finally, I'm guessing after all this, she said that she would actually like to speak to Sherry one-on-one. She said, I would love the chance to actually speak with Sherry and sit down and meet.
If Sherry's going to sit down and meet anybody, it needs to be that child she brought into the world that she wants to ignore and not pay for. If Sherry's going to meet anybody, let the meeting start there, Wendy. Wait your turn. Wait your turn.
You will not let Sherry Shepherd breathe. You really won't. You will keep reminding her that she abandoned that baby.
You ordered it and then you just left it out there. I couldn't imagine anything more horrible. I mean, I just can't fathom saying I want a child, but what you really mean is I want to hold on to an old, ugly bug eye with a baby. And the fact that you literally just said, I don't want it, let him have it, and he should pay for it. That just means you didn't want that child, but you ordered it.
But moving on.
Isn't anyone shocked and disgusted that that's how you would treat a human life?
I can't speak to that. And I hope Sherry, I wish her the best on her show. And according to her, she doesn't have a child. She has one child, and that's it. But Wendy, according to the source, says she's in good spirits and has tons of support around her. Tons of support, in quotes. She also says she's working on projects as well.
She is a work in progress. I think that's the project that she's working on. What she needs to work on is getting some real friends, because running around with Jason Lee, that ain't the look.
Right. That is a 2-ton leech.
I see Jason Lee getting her to will him some of his estate. I could see Jason Lee being in cahoots with Wells Fargo. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's what I believe, because he gives me that kind of tea, that kind of gay man that cons the demented old woman into leaving him her fortune.
Well, speaking on working on things, I need to work on seeing Jessie Williams on Broadway.
Oh, God, really?
Well, here's the thing. I've been wanting to see the show before the leak happened. So everyone is going crazy because someone went to Jessie Williams' play.
His agent went to the play and took the picture. How do you think it was so close and so clear? Who's getting front row seats that has a camera pin? The agent did that. This was not a leak. This was strategic. This was to, look, you're not taking a nude role this day and age if you're not trying to show off your penis. It was good looking, I must say. Now I see why Aaron is so mad. I would be upset too, but girl, if you go to Washington Heights, they've got them like a penny by the pound up there. I lived on 141st in Amsterdam. That's what they look like. I was like, why is everyone so surprised?
Penis by the pound, I hear that. The name of the Broadway play is Take Me Out, and the subject matter is actually, a really popular baseball player comes out at his prime, and he's faced with a lot of homophobia as well as toxic masculinity. So it's an interesting story. And I was like, okay.
You really trying to convince us you interested in this?
I was. And then I was like, oh, so this is what's going on.
Sell it, baby, sell it.
But yes, the tickets aren't that bad. I looked it up, and it's also like walking distance from my apartment. So hey, why on a Monday afternoon, I'll treat myself, So when I saw the picture, I'm not even a fan of penis like that, but I was like, that is a good looking penis. He looked good, I was impressed.
I was impressed. I was just wondering why everyone was so surprised. Like we haven't seen them before. I'm like, that's what it's supposed to look like. Especially with his attitude. Yep, that matches.
Here's the thing. I was really surprised by people's reaction because this has been on Broadway since April 4th. And, we are almost in the middle of May and people are just finding out this happened. I've been knew that he would be new on the show.
Me too. And this is why it was the agent who leaked it, because he got his Tony nomination. You see, if he hadn't gotten a Tony nomination, if it had been a bad run, because sometimes, they'll have a big star in something for 2 weeks and then they'll kick them on.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay, let's see you get that Tony nomination. Then, we're going to put this out there. This was incredibly strategic. It reeks of Kris Jenner.
But let's just say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's just say if it was like a random fan. So I've been to shows where you have to put your phone in a magnetic pouch and they let you unlock it when the show is over. I went to Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett at the Radio City Hall. It's very noticeable if you use your phone, when everyone's phone is locked up. So
this wasn't, I don't think this was a phone. I think this was a professional spy cam.
It might have been, because what you have to do to you probably have to put the phone in your crotch to sneak it in. And then you would really have to try, really, it takes a lot of effort. And then you're risking getting ejected out of the theater, a lawsuit. So I don't know, whoever got that, let's just say if it wasn't, planned or by his agent, that's a lot of risks just for just to show somebody peeing.
I think it's an inside job.
Okay, that's fair. So the theater, they came out with a statement and said they're now gonna crack down on phones in the theater. Yes.
Now that it's too late, now that it's out there, now that it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, now we're gonna crack down. Girl, please. This is just good. The theater ain't mad either because they getting a part of the ticket sales too. Everybody's in on it.
The theater released a statement and said, "We are appalled that this policy has been violated and unauthorized footage of our acting company has been posted. It is deeply unfortunate that one audience member chose to disrespect the production, their fellow audience members, and most importantly, the cast in this manner. Taking naked pictures." Naked. Naked is just such a funny word. Taking naked pictures of anyone without their consent is highly objectionable and can have severe legal consequences. According to them, they said it's an audience member.
Yeah, because the agent was in the audience.
So Jessie Tyler Ferguson, he's from Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the play too. So he came out with a statement saying, "And truly, if nudity is what you are coming for," because a lot of people on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna come to this show just so I can see him naked." He's like, "You are in for a long, boring night. It's within a challenging 2.5-hour play with big ideas, beautiful language, and remarkable acting from a company of 11 actors that you will have to sit through as well. You'll be bored. Trust."
Sounds like he knows from experience.
I'm saying it is, at the end of the day, it's just a body. That would be something if people just came to see the penis. But that reminds me of that episode of Sex and the City when Samantha was promoting her boyfriend's play, remember?
But he didn't have any talent.
He did eventually.
He was a white Michael B. Jordan.
Ooh, shots fired.
I call him like I see him.
But people on Twitter, they were going crazy. I'm like, it's a dick and it's a nice one. We can move on. But people,
they ain't had none in a while.
It must have been that because people were really freaking out. And speaking of nudity, Is Britney Spears okay?
Britney Spears is just free.
You know, I want to believe that, but when you post 6 of the same naked pictures of yourself and that like those raccoon eyes that she has, and just doing this or just posing like this, I'm just like, ugh, you know, I I was one of the people who rallied for her freedom, free Britney, but I'm just like, she needs a PR team or something because it's still.
But hold on. Hillary Duff is nude on the cover of some magazine. Kim Kardashian is nude all the time. Nude is the thing now. Nude is the thing. And isn't she pregnant? So isn't it just her journaling the whole pregnancy thing?
I think she's allegedly pregnant. I don't know. We'll see. But it's just some type of erratic behavior. You know, I already get it. Like Britney Spears probably like
But Britney Spears came to us with the midriff. She's been nude since the VMAs. How is this any different than her stage performance?
It's just in the manner of which she's posting them. Like, it was just kind of jarring to me. Like, I love Britney, but it's just like, it's nudity without a point. At least, like, if
that's white women. From Suzanne Summers, Farrah Fawcett, the white women like to be nude, and that is okay.
Well,
why does it have to be so sexual? Let the titties breathe.
Aside from the nudity, like, do you follow?
She's in Hawaii on a beach. I'd be nude too.
Well, you post your photo like that with the little pink heart in the crotch area and see what happens. People gonna be thinking,
I ain't gonna do that.
And post the same 6 of those back to back. I'm just like, you know, like we rally for her freedom, but a lot of people are saying lock her back up. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying
take her phone.
Take her phone. That's it. Don't take her freedom. Take her phone. That is a good idea.
Let's lock her Instagram up. Girl, you get 2 posts today.
Because, you know, she still has teenage boys too. And just think about it like, mom, like, what is she doing right now? So I'm sure she's embarrassing her kids as well, just posting stuff like this. I think she's a victim of Arrested Development. Like, and she's coming off of being highly medicated every day of her life. So I don't know. I want the best for her.
I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow's out here selling candles that smell like her pussy. All these heifers be nude all the time. To me, the poses look the same. So I'm just like, that's what they do.
Do you know who Jack Harlow is?
Yes. And he didn't know that Ray J and Brandy were brother and sister. However, isn't he like in his 20s?
He's 24. And
okay, that is why. Because he doesn't remember the sex tape. He wasn't around, like he probably knows about the sex tape, but that's been separate from Brandy. Really, ever since the sex tape, Brandy and Ray J have not been a brand together. He probably didn't know about Moesha. And if he did see Moesha, he might not have made it until Dorian was on, and still he might not have put 2 and 2 together. That was something I feel like our generation knew, and it's common knowledge, like their Snoop Dogg is their first cousin. But I could see a 24-year-old not knowing that because you associate Ray J with Love and Hip Hop, on which Brandy appeared once. Other than that, I could see him looking at them as 2 separate brands.
There's a lot of factors to this. So first and foremost, I think people forget that he is still a white boy. And there are white people our age who can't name 3 Brandy songs. So there's that. So I get it. But he is like entering our culture, you know, and because he's a rapper. I can only name 1 song. It's that's annoying ass Fergie sample that he uses. It first started out with, they just wanted him to recognize a song. And it was a Brandy song that they played. And I think it was called Angel in Disguise. It came out the year he was born. So I didn't expect him to know who it was. Because I think he was born in 98. Crazy. They were trying to give him hints. And it was just like, famous girl, like R&B singer. She had a show, a hit TV show in the 90s. And they said Ray J you know, her brother had a sex tape. Ray J is her brother. He was like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's jarring for us. Like, if he was black, then I would be like, really, sir? But he's white.
He was born in 98.
Yep.
Oh, God.
They're getting younger and younger.
I mean, we now are from the 1900s.
And still look good.
True. True. But yeah, I could totally see why he wouldn't know.
The youngins, I tell you. Like,
I'm sure a lot of black youngins didn't know.
I think so too. But I think if you gave him hints like an R&B girl and Ray J is her, I don't know. Like, even if,
I mean, because people don't even listen to albums no more.
that's true. But I would think in the culture, and especially you're in the music industry, you should at least know some things. You know, like any profession you're in, you would at least know the history of your profession. And he's not an R&B singer, which probably would have made it worse. He's a rapper. But I'm just saying, if you're in the music industry, you should know something.
Apparently, it's not necessary anymore.
But shout out to Brandy, the vocal Bible. I like her.
I will call her a vocal thesaurus.
Okay. And speaking of that, I heard that her album, Never Say Never, is eligible for Diamond. I'm not sure if it's an alleged because someone else was like, really? But it was some music handle on Twitter that said that it's eligible for Diamond now. And that's great because I remember the Never Say Never album. That was huge.
That album is her pinnacle, her best work. Other stuff is good. I feel like Never Say Never, that was her moment.
And not a lot of people are in the Diamond album club. So shout out to her if it's real, because someone said it was fake, but she reposted this alleged fake profile that said she was eligible for Diamond. So that would be very embarrassing if it wasn't true.
Which of the Destiny's Child girls can claim Diamond?
Does Beyonce have a Diamond album? I don't think so. I would have to look that up. People in the chat, let us know, does Destiny's Child have a Diamond album? Because they've sold, they're one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. So I would think they have a Diamond album. But I'm not sure if Beyonce has a Diamond one.
Which members can claim it, though? Because we had the first four girls, so we don't know. I don't think the first album, but maybe Writing on the Wall went Diamond. But because they had the interchangeables in, which ones actually get the plaque on their wall?
Damn, this came out in 1999. Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, so it is not Diamond in the US yet. It's 8 times platinum. So it's pretty close, but worldwide it sold 13 million copies.
Okay, that's not bad.
Now, NSYNC, they have a Diamond album. They can all claim that.
But they all stayed in the group.
That's true.
Oh, speaking of branding, Jennifer Lopez to executive produce limited series based on Cinderella.
I don't mind it. I
mind.
Why?
I just don't know if she's going to be good at this. Whenever you think about a J-Lo movie, you're thinking B-, you're thinking mid-tier, you're thinking straight to DVD.
Well, at one point, she's had #1 movies left and right. I'm not sure if they were really good. I think my favorite J-Lo movie,
The Cell.
No, Made in Manhattan. It was a cute movie. I enjoyed it, and I've seen it 3 times. And yeah, it's a light movie. Sometimes you just want a light movie while you're doing some cleaning around the house. It was cute. Oh, and speaking of J-Lo, there was a question on the internet that kind of went viral. They said, is J-Lo a legend? A legend. I was like, okay.
A legendary thief.
Hey, I would say she's an icon, but a legend? To put it
an icon, a sing cannot.
I will say she's an icon, has great influence and success, and she's had both. So I would give her that. She's a Latina icon. I would give her that. But
what influence has she had? What has she taught people how to do other than steal someone's voice like the Sea Witch? Or be a mediocre white woman in Latin skin? What has she done successfully?
She's been a triple.
Married. She can get engaged successfully. That's what she can do. She can dance and she can get engaged successfully. So I guess that's your blueprint. I'll give Beyonce more credit than that, but we can move on.
No, we're gonna stay. J-Lo she's a triple threat, actor, singer, dancer. She's had a really long career.
What note has J-Lo sung successfully?
I'm just saying, Waiting for Tonight, like she's had
that is a strong word.
You don't be a Super Bowl performer without hits. So we'll give that to her.
Ashanti sung those hits.
It don't matter.
Yes, it does. No, she is not America's Next Drag Superstar. She getting out there just mouthing like Janet.
Oh Lord, we're definitely moving on now. But let me just say, let me put legends in perspective. Like when I think of legend, I think of Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, Mariah Carey. Imagine putting Jennifer Lopez in that category. Whitney Houston. Like, come on. And it's not even hate, it's just a fact. She's not a legend. She's not a living legend. A living legend is Mariah Carey. She's a living legend. There will never be another Mariah Carey, but you can make another J-Lo.
Yes.
You can make another J-Lo, but I will give her an icon, so J-Lo fans do not come for me. Come for him.
You can come for the truth all you want to. Don't come for me, come for Ashanti's vocals, because that's what J-Lo took.
I'm just glad that A. Marie was able to keep her hit, because J-Lo was ready to snatch one thing. You remember that she had to drop her single early in order for her not to steal it.
I'm glad that she did, because her first album was so good too. A. Marie, she got out of the music business, sadly, but it's because of thieves like J-Lo.
She's a kids author.
Good for her. You see, kids will actually spend some money. She probably sells more books than she did albums.
It's a fact, probably, because we know you don't make money in music these days. Because I did a video about festivals, and that's the new thing. Like, that's how artists, like, you've seen the same artist in every festival. Meg Thee Stallion has been in 6 different festivals, because that's how you make your money. You can get a quick $50K without even committing to a tour.
Exactly. And then also, because the festival is getting together all of the production, you don't have to deal with the enormous cost.
Right, exactly.
That's how Toni Braxton ended up going broke. When she was putting on her own show at the Flamingo, she was on the hook for the lights, for the sound, for the backstage people. And when she couldn't perform, it all went belly up. And Lloyd's of London tried to not pay the check.
Damn.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes life can just be too much. Everybody's getting a bit burned out and we're not even realizing it. You can be feeling a little helpless, not as motivated as you used to be, detached, tired, or just trapped in the everyday routine. We automatically think of work when we think of burnout, but that's not always what it is. Any role in life can cause burnout. I know I can get burnout with the Housewives. I can try to get myself motivated to watch, but OC was just too much for me this year. And so I have a passion for what I do, and I realized it was lacking. And so I use BetterHelp to talk to someone about it, because I love my job. So what's wrong with me? And so through our conversations, he helped me realize what exactly I was missing, and maybe I needed to add a new challenge to my life. It was so easy to find a therapist on BetterHelp. I simply looked at the options that they had, went through the suggestion boxes, whether I wanted a counselor for grief, whether I wanted to talk to someone about work, or a myriad of other issues that you may have.
And BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Pop Roast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/roast. That's betterhelp.com/roast. So I think we're still on the topic of music now, and we heard this big, I guess, arrest happen early in the week. I don't know who Gunna is. I do know who Young Thug is, but it happened in Fulton County.
Where else?
Because if anybody gonna know what you're doing, if anybody gonna know your business, it's gonna be Fulton County. Why would anybody try to attempt crime in Fulton County?
They don't listen and they don't learn.
I immediately thought of you.
I just wasn't surprised. I mean, this is what Fulton County does. And the New York Times has written up a very interesting article about this case, and they're going to jail. They're going to prison, and they're going to stay.
So what do you know about it? Like, what are they going to jail for?
This is classic RICO. This is what they use to get the mob, where, okay, you are a part of a crime syndicate. You are a part of the selling of drugs, the hurting of people, the stealing of automobiles. You are a part of all of that. Like, they've got him renting a car back in 2015 that was used in the murder of someone else.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is going back to 2015. This is a 7-year investigation. This is like Jen Shah. These are the same people where they're coming after you with laser precision, and they've got all their ducks in a row. Now, Chloe is dating Gunner. Chloe, you better get away from him, because, I mean, you're going to get away from him because he's going to federal prison. Don't end up like Monica, honey. Don't end up like Monica. Stay away from him. You know what? Now is the time. Get you somebody nerdy in tech. Look at what Serena Williams did. Get you somebody with some property. Stay away from these rappers, because something's wrong with them. Committing crimes in Fulton County, that to me says brain damage. That to me says non-functional. Are you for real? And you may not be making that much money in music, but you make it enough not to do this dumb shit. Possession of methamphetamines? We don't even do methamphetamines. And I mean us.
So first, they definitely broke up, thankfully.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think it was Chloe and Gunna. Also, they got more charges on Young Thug when they raided his home.
And they said they're part of the Bloods. They're like a syndication of them. They have all of their evidence. This isn't, any type of flimsy charges. They might be able to turn on people and get a little less time, but they're going to be in prison for a while.
And that's what I don't get. Like, okay, you were a part of a gang back then before you were famous, but why, while you're still famous, still be connected to that? I don't get it. Like, they found guns in his home. They found, they said they found marijuana with intent to sell. I guess that's still like a federal charge they can throw at him. But
in Georgia, yes.
You're right, in Georgia, yeah, okay. But yeah, this is the official article. It says Young Thug and Gunna are among 28 people associated with YSL who were charged in a 56-count indictment on Monday. Thugger's conspiracy to violate RICO charges stems from an alleged incident back in January 2013, while the gang charge is connected to an alleged offense in 2018. Woof, child. They also said that YSL is a hybrid gang that's an affiliate of the Bloods gang. They said that YSL is responsible, allegedly, for approximately...
Wait, hybrid? They work from home half the week and then they show up on the court half the week?
I think it's like multiple gangs together. But I see what you mean, though. But they said they are responsible for approximately 80% of violent crime in the city of Atlanta. 80% of violent crime. They're going down.
You know what they deserve to? 80%. The city might get livable again. Everybody always complaining about carjackings and shit. Get their asses off the street.
Yeah. And a lot of people are rallying saying like, oh, free Young Thug. I mean, really?
Lock him up. These are murderers. What if it was your family member, your lover, your friend?
I mean, you can love their music, but if they did something wrong or like affecting the community, like their own community at that, shut them
Right.
up. I think it's going to be an open and shut case.
Oh, it will be. I think they won't even want to waste money on lawyers. If they're smart, they would save the money on lawyers so they might have something when they get out, but it'll probably all be seized in restitution.
I think what would benefit anybody that's like being held with this case is you go talk to the government immediately and start snitching on everybody to get a lower sentence. That's the only way, I think, to get ahead of that. Like, you're going to jail, but you'll get a lighter sentence if you just be the rat. Now, if you survive in jail, I mean, hey, that's another thing you got to worry about, but you'll get a lighter sentence.
I guess, but it looks like they have so much evidence against them, they might make examples out of all 28. And I couldn't really be mad.
How to just throw your life away like that?
And then you had an opportunity to get away from it. Like, we understand, okay, circumstance of the environment, but then you were able to get out of the environment.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chance to have moved on.
I never understand that. Why, like, people still stick with the lifestyle that they fortunately crawled out of to go right back down there. In other news, 50 Cent has put his money where his mouth is. He hired Monique to be in BMF, like some show he's working on. What's that?
It is a show on Stars. I've been asked to review it, and I will start that up. I do like 50 Cent's TV shows. Monique is a great actress, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm glad that he finally, if you're trying to put Monique back on, you do it yourself then. So he actually hired her, and I think Monique deserves another chance. She doesn't deserve to be blackballed. She's very talented, and she's very funny. So I'm happy for that she's getting, this resurgence of work now.
Me too.
But 50 Cent is still trash. He's a trash ass N-word.
His own son hates him. And I think that's the most powerful thing you can say.
I mean, what's to like about 50 Cent? Just his shows, I guess. But is it really his shows? I think he's just using money to funnel, like, as a producer into other people's talent.
Well, at least he was able to pick which talent to invest in. I'll give him that, because not everybody deserves a show.
Because I think that's the new way to go. Like, when you accrue all this money, like, you just invest in things. Like, I think Drake, he invested in Euphoria, and look how big that is. He's an executive producer.
I thought he was just investing in hussies.
Right. Shout out to 50 Cent for putting a Black woman on, because he's normally, known for putting Black women down.
That's a good one. Sad but true.
Right.
I mean, went after Naturi Naughton when she's out here acting her ass off on his show, making you look good. The fuck?
And Vivica came after her.
And she ate your ass.
Eating 50 Cent's ass. What do you think it's like?
No, that, you see, some things I'm not gonna think about.
When you unscrew a pipe, like,
speaking of not thinking about things, people really ain't thinking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the first episode back was 900,000 viewers, which is a little paltry for Atlanta. But the second episode, The Other Shoe has dropped 700,000 viewers.
I'm nervous.
I mean, it is bad. I know Nene is somewhere, antlers as Kimbo, just laughing and braying. I know Portia's like, you on the wrong team. I have a lot of people that I want to blame for this, and I want to hear who you want to blame for it as well. I blame production for not, because the truth is, this is about what happened last season and the season before last.
Here's the thing, they got new production company. They have the same as Potomac, because if you notice how editing is like going crazy with all those like added things they put into the episodes, they do Potomac. So I will say the productions of the episodes are better in my opinion. It's just the problem, like, why aren't people watching?
Because the casting is piss poor. Now, everybody who got in the comments and wanted to say, well, Kenya carries the show. Kenya's this, Kenya's that, Kenya. Ain't none of y'all watching. Ain't none of y'all watching. So I'm sorry, Kenya is no longer interesting. Here's why. Because Kenya Moore is an asshole. You can only be an asshole for so long before it becomes boring. That's why she's trying to be nice and fun this season, because she realizes no one wants to watch. So we've moved on from her. They need to get her off the damn show. They should have had Portia back, because the truth is the show would have been on Portia's back with Simon. They should have kept Fallon and messy ass Toya. That was the direction to go in. Kandi Burruss, we will see you at the old lady gang, but you are done. You are completely over. We're bringing you out of the oven and you are dry. We have overcooked you. That is what has happened. She has overcooked reality TV meat. It's gotten tough. There's nothing but gristle and fat. There's no nutrients there.
Oh my God. So first I want to know, what did you say why nobody wants to watch Kenya? Because she's I think the feed cut off.
No, I just didn't say it.
Oh,
so that way it
okay.
didn't have to be edited out.
I was like, what?
But like last year, Kenya just picking on Portia every 15. Everybody's sick of it. We've seen Kenya be mean for about 7 years now. That's all she's had to offer. You're coming as a nice girl, too little, too late, and the ratings prove it.
So here's my idea of it. I'm gonna be a little bit more.
Also, Sheree Whitfield, get the fuck on. Don't nobody care. I had always said Sheree ain't shit, and this proves it. Ain't nobody interested in the house it took you 15 years to frickin' finish. Also, while we talking about Sheree, I feel like this proves if Phaedra comes back, no one's going to care. We are tired of the heifers of 15 years ago. We are on season 14. We've been knowing your asses for too long. We ain't trying to follow you into the home.
Well, here's my thing. I'm a little bit more lenient. First,
the ratings aren't.
Well, people don't watch like on Sunday night. Like people watch on different platforms now. Like some people like, oh, I'm not going to watch this on Sunday night. I'm going to watch it, when I get a chance to, or I'm going to watch it online. So there's just a lot of options to watch it. We don't all watch TV at the same time anymore, like we did when they had 4 million viewers. Secondly, I do think that a little bit of casting hurt. Like Drew should not be on it. If they had to choose between Drew and LaToya, they should have chose LaToya because she is mess. People with mess and have nothing to lose, they give good TV.
And Fallon. I mean, they should have paid top dollar to have all of that mess on the show. Right. I think seeing Portia fighting with Fallon, because Fallon grabbed that golf club real quick, Toya being messy, I think we should have had that. That should have been the focal point. Like they really built up Portia to kind of be the new queen bee of the show, and then she just walks off. They picked the wrong team with Kenya Moore.
And also the Nene factor, I just don't even include that as a variable because Nene does not want to be around those women. And I think it's vice versa as well. So it would have been.
Andy Cohen won't even say her name. She's burnt the bridge, she's melted the bridge, she shit on the bridge, and then an earthquake came and shook it, and now there's nothing but ocean.
Right. So I think people should just not even mention Nene in regards to this because she didn't even enjoy being around them. So it's not going to make for good TV. They're not friends. And then what you said with Kandi, I agree somewhat. Like, I think they should have let Phaedra back on, and that would have been closure for them. But I'd rather have Phaedra than Kandi. Like, they should have had Phaedra and Portia back on that season. Because I think it would have been, I don't know, like, I think it would have been a little bit more interesting because people want to know how that's all going to work together. But I think it was Portia's decision not to come back and not Bravo's.
I've heard that it was Portia's decision. Right. Some people say it was Bravo's because of how she acted on the Portia trip. But I feel like Portia's been bopping people on the head ever since she's been on Bravo. So I don't see what would be different now.
But I don't think they've never had ratings that low before. But I'm holding out because I didn't not enjoy the last episode. Like it was okay. It was just a lot about Drew. Like I don't want to hear about that. Like I feel like it's all made for TV with them.
I also feel like with Marlo, the milk curdled. I think that they kept her as a friend of the show for so long and now trying to bring her in as a Muntie rather than as her old fabulous self. I think it's not resonating with the audience. I think that for years, I would say since season 10, they've been missing the mark with casting. They've kept people far beyond their expiration date, didn't pull people into the recipe in time, and now their milk is curdled and they don't know what they're going to do. But I am sure the executives over there are tearing what is left of their hair out, and they should.
Well, I think Marlo was stunt casting, much so like Maddie Morphosis on Drag Race. Like they were just like, we gotta shake this up some way. Let's finally give Marlo her peach. It'll get people to watch. The problem with Marlo's scenes by herself is they just look so manufactured in front of the camera. Like I feel like she don't be up every morning cooking for those boys. Every morning, no.
Manufactured is right because it's very John Amos.
But yeah, I'm gonna continue to watch and review. And according to the views, like y'all are watching, y'all just watching on your own time. I think that's why the ratings are so low. And also, their white audience, I think, has declined as well. Like you only have like the white folks that love Bravo to watch Atlanta Housewives.
I would say the fact that the ratings have gone down, though, mean it's not appointment television anymore, means that people aren't afraid to get spoiled anymore, means that it's gone down on the pecking order. And the lower you go, the sooner you're forgotten. And then, oh, I forgot to catch up. And then, oh, I just stopped watching.
Yeah, and I don't know, like it's only 2 episodes. I feel like once we're in the middle of the season, we can gauge on like how the season is doing. But we do know who the new Supreme is, and it is Beverly Hills. We had the premiere last night, and I'm predicting that the ratings will be 1.2 to 1.3. I will see. It comes out later today. Unfortunately, it hasn't come up yet. But I thought it was a decent premiere. It was okay for me.
It was a bit heavy for me. I'm glad they kind of got it out of the way. Yeah. I felt bad for Dorit. I don't think it was staged. I don't think anybody's going to play with their kids like that. So I felt bad for her. Also, she ain't that good of an actress.
Agreed. But seeing PK crying as soon as he walked in the door, I was like, so I don't know.
I will say Bravo made sure to get that reunion on camera.
Yeah, I was just like, wouldn't they want to do that privately? And I'm just wondering, would you still stay in that same house that was broken into? I would go to a hotel for a week.
I don't know because do you think that they're going to come back? Will lightning strike twice? Or if I move, will it be any different somewhere else?
And also she said to Andy on Watch What Happens Live that her security system wasn't on.
Yeah, because her kids would end up tripping it and waking them up.
Well, I bet she gonna leave it on now.
That's why you have an upstairs kitchen.
I don't think I've ever seen an upstairs kitchen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that common?
Common in my life. I will say here's why it is common in my life, because I'm constantly looking at like new construction houses, and you can throw a wet bar and a refrigerator up there and boom, it's a kitchen. Like I ain't saying a full stove, but actually you can get a small little stove. Mm-hmm. Or a little burner top or something where, you've got like a decent microwave, a convection oven, like you can heat food up. I'm going to have one in my bedroom.
Okay.
Because, on those days when you just don't feel like leaving your room, when you barely feel like getting out of bed, wouldn't it be great to just be like, I can just stay in the energy in here, even though the whole house will be mine. I'll probably be there by myself, but still, like some days I'm just like, I'm not going out there.
Also, everyone is talking about Sutton's reaction when she was talking to Kyle about Dorit. It was funny to me. It was funny as fuck.
This is why you keep some opinions to yourself. Because Girl, that is going to turn a lot of people off.
Well,
Some people believe that it was staged.
A lot.
But I just feel like it was a little harsh. And especially since kids were involved, it could just make you look really insensitive.
Well, it was harsh for optics, but a lot of the Bravo fans, they were laughing at it because it's still a sketchy story because Dorit was on the verge of being fired, like literally fired, and that happened the next day. And then that's when they started filming. So it was just a little, we live in a society of skepticism now. You've seen the Jessie thing. Like people will do stuff in desperation.
We're not gonna invoke good sis for you.
I'm just saying, like these days, people will do a lot for fame and attention. And I'm pretty sure, like, I think they got the insurance for stuff too. So, and they were in debt. So I'm just saying.
True.
But
I can't deny these things are true. But Kyle's house got robbed also. These houses get robbed out there.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're on a TV show where people do know, you've got at least $200,000 to $300,000 in Hermes purses just in your closet. And we didn't see any security since we've seen your closet. Like Jeffree Star, like his house in California that he eventually sold, he had a whole ass vault. His closet was a vault. So you knew you could break in there all you want. You ain't getting shit. But Dorit, her stuff was just hanging in the closet like my stuff.
But Kyle was talking to Sutton, and Sutton was like, "Oh yeah, I'm putting out fires myself right now." And you have Kyle like bawling in front of her, and she was just, "Oh, like what?" "Oh well, I have my French designer, and he's just stuck right now in customs," and she's just like flabbergasted.
See, Sutton's got to know how to play the game. That to me reeks of lack of emotional intelligence. Sutton should have been teary too. Oh my God, I know it's so scary. It could have been me. Now, you might not believe it, but go on and pay it lip service until it's been proven. And then you can say, I hurt for you.
That's the thing.
That's the Beverly Hills game. You don't come out charging, I think you're a liar. You wait. Like with Erica Jane, you wait and let the courts prove that she knew and was also stealing money from the Lionaire families. You wait until it's proven. Then you can say whatever. Then you can say, I knew, but I had to fake the funk because I might have been wrong, but I knew, Heifer.
Well, I put myself in that position because say, like a friend tells me that somebody that I don't like got robbed or whatever. And I'm just like, going about my day. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's terrible. And nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt, but she did get, scared or whatever. But I would probably have the same reaction, like, oh, that's bad. But let me tell you about my day. Like I would probably do something like that if it was somebody I didn't really care for. Now, should she have said it on camera? No, but I think they're so used to the cameras that they were just being themselves. Because I'm pretty sure all of y'all, if y'all were friends, if y'all had mutual friends and you don't like this person, you heard something bad happen and they're fine, and you know that they're fine, you would try to just move on with the conversation. And that's something that I would probably do.
I thought she liked Dorit a little bit more than that.
Well, I'm pretty sure she is now giving Dorit the ammunition now because she can pull that card now to say like, oh, you're a terrible person.
And why would you give someone like Dorit that ammunition?
But I think the good thing is that Kyle didn't tell Dorit about that, or else I think she didn't. Like, I think Dorit found out on the show, so they won't harp on that. Like, they're gonna move on.
Are you kidding me? This was the first episode. They're gonna harp on it like a player in heaven. They're gonna harp on it like an angel. That's how much they're gonna harp on it. This is Bravo. This is Beat a Dead Horse Network.
I think they got bigger fish to fry with Kathy. Like, Kathy did something.
I can't wait to see Kathy. Erica looks so terrible in her confessionals. I mean, she looks like shit. She's starting to look like Maddie Morphosis.
I do have some tea though. Like, apparently it was, well, let me say allegedly. Allegedly, it was something she said that was very homophobic. And they had the GLAAD Awards, I think, recently, and she was there. And I heard that she gave a big check. And I think she's like, trying to put out a fire and like be very PR about it. But I don't know what she said yet. I guess we'll have to find out.
We'll see if she said something or if it makes it to air. Because remember, we never really knew if Nene knocked that producer's tooth out or not.
You're right. I do think that Renna and Erica are gunning for her because, they always try to attack fan favorite. Because I think Denise, at first, she was so open and honest and funny. And then they attacked her the next season after that.
They just wanted her to confess about being a lesbian.
I don't think she's a lesbian. I just think, she was with Brandi Glanville. And when you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. So,
ooh. I mean, really, of all the women to be with, Brandi Glanville,
well, she
Brandi, that just. But then again, she was with Charlie Sheen, so she likes a skeezer. She's attracted to the scent of hepatitis.
Oh goodness,
that's the only explanation. She smells like Heppy A, allegedly.
Right, because they like to sue in Beverly Hills. But I think, us talking about hepatitis, I think we can end it on that. I'm like, okay, the scent of what did you say? The scent of hepatitis?
The scent of hepatitis.
Yeah, we can end it there. So I think that's all of our topics today. And yeah, if you see me in LA, y'all say hi.
And I'll see you sooner than Brandi Glanville sees her pharmacist for some Revivarin. It's a treatment for Happy C.
Bye, everyone.